What's going on, everybody? It's the Prime coming at you guys with another Dark Side of the Ring review. This time is Jimmy Snuka and the murder of his girlfriend Nancy. This episode was very as far as Dark Side of the Rings go, this is probably one of the darkest episodes aside from the first episode. Of course, dealing with the death of another Nancy. This one was very eerie to me. Of course, if you don't know, Jimmy Fly Snuka allegedly killed his girlfriend in a hotel and tried to play it off, and allegedly got Vince McMahon to pay it off for him, or pay the whoever off, and his family kind of wanted justice. So when I found out about this whole Jimmy Snuka thing, backstory, it's this group on YouTube. They do YouTube videos called OSW Review, and every time Jimmy Snuka, because they do old school wrestling, so they do early 90s, maybe sometimes an 80s thing, maybe, So every time Jimmy Snuka comes on screen, they say, and here's Jimmy Snuka, and then one of them says, murderer, kind of like that. And at first I didn't get it, and then they said it again in another video. So then of course I went to go look it up, and then like maybe a couple months after me looking it up, here comes the trial, or here comes the whatever cases. Hey, this could be a possibility that he could have actually did it. And then I think the trial opened up like maybe the next year or the year after or whatever, 17, 15, whatever. Anyways, aside from that, so the story Jimmy says is that they were on their way back or going to Allentown, and she went to the bathroom, came back and slipped and fell. I mean, first of all, the one fall though, I mean, if we're being honest, we're being honest here, totally honest. Look at Jimmy Snuka. This man is huge. He can literally just tap you on the forehead and you feel like you got a concussion. That's how big he was. And by the way, I liked how every depiction of Jimmy Snuka just had to have a dude with a shirt off, just so you know that this is Jimmy Snuka. This had to be it too. Just so he had to do the Jimmy Fly Snuka sign, just so you know it's Jimmy Snuka. I don't know why I thought that was just funny, because every shot that you see of Jimmy Snuka that's like reimagined is of a dude, and he has to have his shirt off. Like it's just long hair, no shirt, and like maybe it depends on what scene it is, flip flops. But no, this I feel sorry for the family. They don't get no justice. They don't get no anything. It sucks because it's, first of all, it's a life. I mean, like, they interviewed a couple people. They interviewed both of her sisters. They interviewed Jimmy Snuka's wife, his cousin, who is also a wrestler, Tonka Kid, and a paramedic that was there at the time, and also I don't know if he was the leader of the, at that point or whatever, but I'll be honest. And they interviewed two dudes that wrote the story, 30th anniversary story. But this dude that's the leader, or the whatever he is, the head cop or whatever, that dude was actually aggravating. Not to a point, because it's like, look, I know he doesn't understand the pro wrestling world, but it's pro wrestling. It's like, yeah, like he's acting as if that's just out of the question. Like, this, no promoter would just, nobody would just get paid off in this. I'm like, do you know how much money Vince McMahon had at that point? He could pay anything off, okay? Like, he can cover any little details up. And then he was like, everything they said to him about the thing, he was like, oh, that wouldn't happen, It was like, well, what if the case opened up 30 years later? Well, that wouldn't happen, because we done did the best we could doing this case. I'm like, yeah, okay, dude. And then Tonka Kid said that they were with them, and he don't remember Nancy falling. Now, yes, I know that you get older, or just different parts of the story, you're not gonna remember every single thing that happened every single day or every single minute. But I'm sure if you're riding with Jimmy Snuka and Nancy, I'm sure somewhere up in there you will remember her falling in the middle of the street and hitting her head. I'm sure you remember that. Like, that's something, like, you probably might not remember when you had McDonald's or Burger King that day, but I'm pretty sure you remember somebody falling and hitting their head and dying. Like, I'm just saying. But yeah, this episode was dark. Maybe the darkest episode aside from the first, like I said, because it's dealing with death. I believe next episode is the Hawk and Animal episode for the Road Warriors. So this episode is already dark enough. Depending on what area of the Road Warriors we're getting, it could get darker if you add Sunny in there. In 97 or 98. It depends. Like, we already know like how they were and how they acted, and now, you know, especially that death and that one angle where he was going to jump off the Titantron and all that. That's gonna be crazy too. But this one and maybe the Dino Bravo and the Owen Hart are gonna be like the Owen Hart may be the toughest watch. That's why they put it as the last episode. But the next couple are going to be a wild ride. But thanks for listening to me just ramble on, guys. You can, you know, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KVNG Primetime. Also check out the Prime Nostalgia podcast, and you know, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, and share. What would you want to see on the upcoming season or the next season of Dark Side of the Ring? Let me know. Primetime is all the time.